Hi, this is Scott Garibay. Let's talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and the reason why people keep buying Dungeons & Dragons source books even though they're massively frustrated by them. Okay, because I think I just figured this out. All right, here we go. There is a genre. You have to understand what this genre is. This genre is a thing in everything that everybody buys at a macro level, okay? So in clothes, in sneakers, in Dungeons & Dragons, in cars, in bicycles, in motorcycles, and in Dungeons & Dragons, period, in books, right? Here's the genre. This is the genre. New and expensive, okay? It's brand new. People want the new, right? And we're going to talk about why in a minute. It's expensive. Not to buy, okay? It may be expensive to buy, but when I say expensive, I mean it took a lot of money to make it, right? People, when they go to get their content, they want new and expensive, and I am here for that. I am part of that. I want new and expensive. And I realized this. How did I realize this? Jupiter's Legacy. I just watched Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. That is 8 hours of my life I will never get back. It was horrible. It was an absolute waste of my time, right? I knew going in it was going to be a waste of my time, right? The reason why is this is rehashed Watchmen. Watchmen's 30 years old, right? This is everywhere, right? Jupiter's Legacy was Jupiter's Legacy was a poor person's Watchmen, right? And I could have gotten better on Invincible. I could have and Boys is out. It's just, what if superheroes were bad? The story's been told. It's tired. It's played out, right? But I watched Jupiter's Legacy knowing it was going to be a train wreck. And the reason why is I'm a sucker for new and expensive, right? It was new. It was brand new on Netflix, and it was expensive to make. It probably cost them at least $50 to $150 million. Now, why am I attracted to new and expensive, right? Well, here's one thing, right? One of the biggest is celebrity, right? The rock stars show up in new and expensive, right? So you may not like the product, but you're going to like the people you see in it. I watch a specific YouTuber. Her name is Anna Akana. She's brilliant. I really like her stuff. I highly recommend you go check her out. She's fun. She's winsome. She's got some cool videos, right? She's just a YouTuber, right? Well, she showed up in the middle of Jupiter's Legacy. And I was like, wow, look at that. That's Anna Akana, right? And I had no idea when I started it that I would see Anna Akana in one of her most robust acting roles ever. And what might be the possibility of her transitioning from being a YouTuber to being a, air quotes, real star. That's like, I don't know. That's a whole nother video. I'm not going to get into that here, right? So new and expensive, that is why people get frustrated. So frustrated, right? Like one of the biggest ones is, D&D is trying to solve every woke problem in every book, right? And it is affecting who they're hiring. They're hiring people who don't even want to write for D&D, are regretting that they wrote for D&D, are ashamed to put their name on work they did for D&D. Like, why on earth would you hire somebody who, like, is not down with, like, what you do, right? Like, well, maybe because you want to be super woke, right? Like, it's just, and there's this journey that's happening with Dungeons & Dragons, and it frustrates so many people. But they go right back and they purchase the next book. And the reason why is they are attracted to new and expensive. New content and content they know was expensive to make, right? And this is not that crazy, right? So not only, and the other thing is, so when you go to new and expensive, you will be delighted by something in it. You may not like the whole product, but you're almost certainly going to be delighted by something in it. Perfect example of this, right? You buy the new and expensive D&D book, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, they got this subclass wrong. This isn't balanced. I don't care. Like they're taking this culture, they're taking this great D&D heritage thing and making it completely new and completely different. And I don't like it at all, right? Oh, hey, look at that. There's Wayne Reynolds. I'm a Pathfinder player. Wayne Reynolds' art is all over Pathfinder. He's so talented. Look at this gorgeous picture. Wow. Right? Now, how did they get Wayne Reynolds in the middle of a D&D book? They got money. They got money. It's expensive, right? And so the people they hire, even though the work might be horrible, right? The people they engage, there's going to be something that could delight you. Perfect example of this, right? Transformers 5, the movie. Worst piece of junk, one of the worst piece of junk movies I've ever seen in my life. Michael Chabon wrote that. It was a writer on that, right? He wrote the Yiddish Policeman's Guide to Chess, right? This guy's got like a Nebula and a Hugo, right? This dude is a brilliant writer, right? He was on Transformers 5. He was on the writing team, right? Nothing he wrote for it was good, or actually, I'll bet you he wrote some brilliant things that were thrown out into the trash, right? Like, but I got to see the Transformers movie that Michael Chabon was on. New and expensive is a genre, right? And guess what? Your schlub indie game ain't new, or it might be new, but it ain't expensive. And there ain't going to be any artists in there to delight you. There ain't going to be any writers in there to delight you, right? Or surprise you, right? And that's why D&D kicks the living crap out of your favorite, indie. White Hack, 5 Torches Deep, Index Card RPG is my favorite, right? And there's just, the list goes on. Lamentations of the Flame Princess, right? And the thing is, they can be new, but they can't be expensive. They ain't got the money. They ain't got the juice, right? And the reality is, the writers and the artists that they are engaging on these D&D books, and the people who talk about these D&D books, some of them are some of the most talented people, creative people in the world. So you have to understand that new and expensive is a genre for Dungeons and Dragons, like any premier product, right? And when it comes to tabletop role-playing games, absolutely no one in the world does new and expensive like D&D, because nobody can. There are no other role-playing games right now that are attached to multi-billion-dollar conglomerates. D&D is the only one. So when they go to create a product, man, they are bringing the funk. They got the money to delight you, even when the book sucks, right? And it, just like Anna Akana showed up in that terrible show, Jupiter's Legacy, I was delighted, even though the show was horrible, right? So don't be surprised when you hear people 1 week say terrible things about WotC and then put their money down when the new book drops. Understand the importance of new and expensive. Well, that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a wonderful millennium.